We've all been there, tossing and turning, staring at the clock as the hours slip by. It feels like the harder you try to sleep, the more elusive it becomes. If you're over 50, you may be all too familiar with those nights when sleep seems to slip through your fingers, no matter what you try. But here's the good news: you're not alone, and it's not just in your head. Sleep challenges are incredibly common as we age, but there are ways to regain control and improve the quality of your sleep, naturally and effectively. So why is sleep so tricky as we get older? It all comes down to biology. As we age, the structure of our sleep changes. We might find ourselves waking up more frequently during the night, or having a harder time falling asleep in the first place. Research shows that our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep, and we spend less time in the deeper, restorative stages of sleep. This can leave us feeling groggy or unrested, even after a full night in bed. Sound familiar? But here's the exciting part. There are science-backed strategies to help us sleep better as we age. And trust me, I've seen them work firsthand. Whether it's a friend of mine who started practicing a simple bedtime routine, or a family member who changed their eating habits and finally got a full night of restful sleep. I'm excited to share what I've learned, because you can totally improve your sleep, and it starts with understanding the factors that affect it. Before we dive in, I'd love your help with something. If you're enjoying this video so far, comment Y below. If not, comment N. It helps me know what's working and what to improve. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Now let's dive deeper. One of the first things to consider is your sleep environment. It might sound simple, but your bedroom could be the key to a better night's sleep. It's so easy to overlook the little things, like the temperature, lighting, or even the noise around you. But research shows that all of these factors have a big impact on how well we sleep. For instance, your body temperature naturally drops when you fall asleep, and if your bedroom is too warm, it can disrupt this process. A cooler room, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, is often ideal for a deeper sleep. Another important factor is light exposure. As we age, our ability to regulate our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that helps us wake up and fall asleep, can become less efficient. So it's crucial to get plenty of natural sunlight during the day to help reset your body's rhythm. In the evening, though, it's best to avoid bright, blue light from screens. I know it's tempting to scroll through your phone or watch TV before bed, but studies show that this kind of light can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. And let's not forget about noise. Even if you're not a light sleeper, sounds like traffic, a loud clock ticking, or a partner snoring can disrupt your rest without you even realizing it. Consider using earplugs, a white noise machine, or even a fan to create a peaceful sound environment. But what happens if you've already tried adjusting your environment and still find yourself lying awake? The next step is to think about your sleep routine. We often forget how important consistency is when it comes to sleep. It's not just about what you do during the day, it's about how you prepare your body and mind to unwind at night. Creating a calming bedtime routine can signal to your brain that it's time to rest. For example, my friend Linda started practicing a simple routine. About 30 minutes before bed, she'd turn off all screens, dim the lights, and read a book or take a warm bath. Over time, her body began to recognize this as a signal that sleep was coming, and she found herself falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. It sounds simple, but that's the beauty of it. Small changes can have a big impact. And remember, your body needs time to wind down. As we get older, our nervous system isn't as quick to relax, so taking the time to ease into sleep is key. Things like meditation or gentle stretching can also be incredibly effective at calming your mind and muscles before bed. Now, before we go any further, I want to make something clear. This video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available research. Everyone's health is different, so always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, or exercise routine. Scientific knowledge is always evolving, and what works for one person may not work for another. That said, the next area I want to touch on is what you're eating and drinking, especially in the evening. I know we often hear about foods that help us sleep, like warm milk or turkey, but what you choose to eat before bed really matters. Some foods can actually disrupt your sleep, while others can help you sleep more soundly. For instance, did you know that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 8 hours? That's right. Even if you have a cup of coffee in the afternoon, it might affect your ability to fall asleep at night. Same goes for alcohol. It might help you relax initially, but it can interfere with the deeper stages of sleep, leaving you feeling tired and unrest the next morning. Instead, try incorporating foods that promote sleep. For example, magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds are known to support muscle relaxation and help with sleep. Also, complex carbohydrates, like whole grains, can boost serotonin levels, which in turn helps regulate sleep. As we move forward in the next part of the series, we'll dive into more ways to support your sleep through your habits and mindset. There's a lot more we can do to ensure restful, restorative nights as we age. Before we begin, I want to make one thing clear. This video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available research. Everyone's health is different, so always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, or exercise routine. Scientific knowledge is always evolving, and what works for one person may not work for another. Now let's pick up where we left off. In the last video, we talked about creating the ideal sleep environment and setting up a calming bedtime routine. But what about your mental and emotional well-being? Yes, your mindset and how you manage stress can play a huge role in how well you sleep, especially as we get older. I've had several conversations with friends who mentioned that they never used to struggle with sleep until life got more stressful. The pressures of family, finances, or just the busyness of everyday life can make our minds race when it's time to wind down. And that racing mind, well, it's one of the biggest culprits in preventing restful sleep. So what can you do about it? One of the most powerful tools to help calm a busy mind is mindfulness, a practice that helps you stay present, rather than obsessing over things you can't control. It's all about acknowledging the thoughts that pop up in your head without judgment, and then letting them pass by. I know it might sound a little out there, but stick with me. There's actually quite a bit of science to back this up. Research has shown that mindfulness and meditation can help reduce stress and anxiety, leading to better sleep. One study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that mindfulness meditation significantly improved sleep quality in adults over 60. You don't need to meditate for hours either. Even just 5 to 10 minutes before bed can make a difference. It could be something as simple as focusing on your breath or doing a body scan technique where you consciously relax each part of your body, starting from your toes and working your way up. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts, but to acknowledge them and then let them go. Another thing to consider is exercise. Now, I'm not talking about intense, late-night workouts, but regular physical activity during the day can have a big impact on your sleep. In fact, studies have shown that people who engage in moderate exercise tend to fall asleep faster and experience deeper, more restorative sleep. I've seen this firsthand with my aunt, who started taking daily walks in the evening. At first, she was hesitant because she'd heard that exercising too close to bedtime could keep you awake. But once she started walking for just 20 minutes each evening, she found it easier to drift off at night. Not only did her sleep improve, but her overall mood and energy levels were better throughout the day too. The key here is consistency. It doesn't have to be a rigorous workout routine. Something as simple as a walk, some gentle yoga, or even stretching can help promote restful sleep. And remember, try to avoid exercising too late in the evening, as that can leave you feeling too energized right before bed. But what about those nights when your mind just won't turn off, no matter how many techniques you try? That's where sleeping pills or over-the-counter remedies might come to mind. But before you reach for the medicine cabinet, it's important to note that these are not a long-term solution. While they may help you fall asleep, they don't improve the quality of your sleep or help you get into the deeper stages that our bodies really need. Instead, consider natural alternatives. For example, valerian root, chamomile tea, and lavender are all known for their calming properties and have been shown in some studies to help with sleep. These remedies can be a great addition to your bedtime routine, but again, they should be used with caution and not relied upon as a fix for deeper, underlying issues. Now, let's talk about sleep disorders. If you're still struggling with sleep despite trying these strategies, it might be worth considering that an underlying condition, such as sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome, could be contributing to your challenges. I had a family member who went undiagnosed for years with sleep apnea, and they simply thought they were getting older, and that was the reason for their disrupted sleep. Once they were diagnosed and started using a CPAP machine, their quality of sleep improved dramatically. If you wake up feeling tired, snore loudly, or have difficulty staying asleep, it might be a good idea to speak with your doctor about potential sleep disorders. Getting the right diagnosis and treatment can make a world of difference. It's important to remember that sleep is a holistic process. It's not just about one factor, it's about combining all these elements together. From managing stress and creating a calming routine to maintaining physical activity and addressing any medical concerns, everything plays a part in helping you sleep better as you age. In the next part of this series, we're going to dive into the role of nutrition and how what you eat can either help or hurt your sleep. We'll look at specific foods and drinks that you should be mindful of, and I'll share more strategies to help you take control of your sleep. Before we continue, just a quick reminder. This video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available research. Always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, or exercise routine. What works for one person may not work for another, and everyone's health journey is unique. Now that we've covered how to create a calming environment, build a bedtime routine, and manage stress, let's talk about nutrition. Specifically, how what we eat and drink affects our ability to get a good night's sleep. As we get older, our bodies process food differently, and certain foods can either help or hinder our sleep. Let's start with the obvious one, caffeine. For most of us, a cup of coffee in the morning is a must, but what about that mid-afternoon pick-me-up? Did you know that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 8 hours? That means even if you have a cup of coffee or tea in the afternoon, it might still be in your bloodstream when it's time to go to bed, interfering with your ability to fall asleep. I had a friend who was in the habit of having an afternoon latte to keep going, but when she swapped it for herbal tea, her sleep quality improved almost immediately. And then there's alcohol. Many people think a glass of wine or a cocktail before bed will help them relax and drift off to sleep faster, but it can actually disrupt your sleep cycle. Alcohol can cause you to fall into a deeper sleep initially, but it doesn't allow you to reach the restorative stages of REM sleep. As a result, you may wake up feeling groggy or unrest the next day. Instead of caffeine or alcohol, consider switching to sleep-promoting drinks. Chamomile tea is a classic example. It's known for its calming properties and can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. There's also tart cherry juice, which contains melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. And for those who prefer a warm, soothing drink, a cup of warm milk might bring back comforting memories, but more importantly, it's rich in tryptophan, an amino acid that helps produce serotonin and melatonin, both of which aid sleep. But it's not just about drinks. What you eat during the day can also have a major impact on your sleep. Magnesium, for example, is a mineral that plays a crucial role in sleep regulation. It helps relax muscles and calm the nervous system, making it easier for you to drift off and stay asleep. You can find magnesium in foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and legumes. I know a friend who started incorporating more magnesium-rich foods into her diet, and after a couple of weeks, she felt noticeably more relaxed at night and had fewer interruptions in her sleep. Then there's tryptophan, the same compound found in turkey that makes you feel so sleepy after a Thanksgiving meal. While turkey is a great source, other foods rich in tryptophan include chicken, pumpkin seeds, and oats. Eating a small snack containing these foods before bed may help your body produce more serotonin and melatonin, both of which help regulate your sleep. Speaking of snacks, I want to give a shout out to complex carbohydrates, which are another excellent choice when it comes to improving sleep. Whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat bread help increase the availability of tryptophan in your bloodstream. Pairing a complex carb with some protein or healthy fat, like a small piece of cheese on whole grain crackers, can help stabilize your blood sugar and prevent those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. One thing I encourage people to avoid before bed is heavy or spicy meals. While you may love that spicy chili or heavy pasta dish for dinner, These foods can lead to indigestion or acid reflux, which can make it hard to fall asleep and stay asleep. Eating smaller meals throughout the day can help keep your digestive system from working overtime at night, allowing your body to focus on rest instead of digestion. But what if you've been doing all the right things with your nutrition, and you still find yourself wide awake at 2 a.m.? It can be frustrating, but it's important to remember that sleep disruptions are a normal part of aging. Your sleep cycle changes as you get older, and it may take some time for your body to adjust. If you're still finding it difficult to sleep despite making adjustments to your diet, stress levels, and bedtime routine, it may be time to look deeper. This is where it can be helpful to work with a healthcare provider who specializes in sleep. A sleep study or a discussion about possible underlying conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or even hormonal imbalances could be key in identifying what's keeping you awake. I've seen many people, myself included, feel so much better after addressing these issues with the help of a professional. In the next video, we'll wrap up with some deeper mindset shifts and strategies for overcoming any challenges that come up along the way. Getting restful sleep isn't just about habits, it's about changing the way we think about sleep itself. We'll talk about how to stay motivated, manage setbacks, and embrace the process as part of healthy aging. Before we dive into our final takeaways, I want to remind you that this video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available research. Everyone's health is different, so always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, or exercise routine. Now, let's take a step back and recap everything we've covered. Over the past few videos, we've talked about setting up the perfect sleep environment, creating a calming bedtime routine, managing stress, and tweaking your diet. We've also explored the importance of exercise and mental health in supporting better sleep. And by now, I hope you've discovered that the secret to restful sleep isn't just about one thing. It's about a holistic approach. But here's the kicker. Sleep is a journey, not a quick fix. If you're over 50, there's a good chance that your sleep patterns have shifted in ways you didn't expect. The good news is that small, consistent changes can lead to big improvements over time. You don't need to expect perfection. In fact, embracing the idea that improving your sleep might be a gradual process can actually help relieve some of the pressure and stress around it. A big part of getting better sleep is mindset. Many people over 50 begin to believe that poor sleep is just part of getting older, that they're destined to be up at 3 a.m. every night. But the truth is, aging doesn't have to mean sleeplessness. With the right strategies, you can absolutely reclaim restful, restorative sleep at any age. One of the most important things I want to leave you with is that sleep matters, and it's never too late to improve it. Think about it. When you get a good night's sleep, you wake up feeling refreshed, more energetic, and ready to take on the day. You're more focused, more positive, and more engaged with life. That's the power of sleep. So let's talk about action steps. What's the one thing you can do tonight to improve your sleep? Maybe it's adjusting your bedroom temperature or putting away your phone an hour before bed. Perhaps it's incorporating a calming ritual, like a cup of chamomile tea, or even doing a few minutes of deep breathing to help ease your mind. Whatever it is, take that small step tonight and see how it feels. The key here is consistency. Like anything worth achieving, better sleep takes time. But if you stick with these strategies and make adjustments as needed, you'll start to see results. Your body will thank you for it. Before we wrap up, I want to share one final thought. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that getting quality sleep is just as important for healthy aging as eating well and staying physically active. Your sleep is a foundation for everything else, your energy, your mood, and even your long-term health. So don't neglect it. As we conclude, I want to hear from you. We'd really love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions for future topics or questions you want answered, write to us in the comments below. We're here to help, and your input could inspire our next video. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on more practical tips for healthy aging. Here's to living your best life at any age.